Let's learn about the cross-filter function. Cross-filter function lets you alter the filter direction of any relationship. It lets you change the filter direction, or it lets you enable or disable the filter direction temporarily in a calculation. Cross-filter function can be applied along with any other functions like calculate, where it can be used as the filter component, where we can apply these changes in the relationship. So for this function, the syntax would be cross filter, then the table name and the column name of the first table, table name and the column name of the second table, and what kind of cross filter direction you want to keep. Options are you can keep it to none, which means that no cross filtering between these tables. You can keep it one way or you can keep it both ways. Let's learn it with an example. We have our data model here where we have a sales table, we have a products table, we have a customers table, and we have a territory table. Now, in the sales table, we have a territory key with which the territory table is related. Within the territory table, we have region, country, continent, etc. Now, if I want to have, if I want to show sales by territory, I can simply use the existing relationship. But if I want to see all territory sales, then I can do it with the cross filter direction. Let's quickly look at with an example. So we have this sales measure. If I simply put the sales measure in a card visual, this gives me the total sales. If you look at the formula, this is total sales. Now I can use filters on, let's say from territory, I can add a slicer. Let me add another slicer for the product category. So here, this total sales, as you know, that this can be filtered easily. If I select any category, any country or category, the results will be filtered because we have the filter direction coming from these dimension tables towards the sales table. Now, if I want to have one measure where I don't want a filtering applied on the based on the any region, then I can do it with a cross filter direction, cross filter function. Let's calculate that. All region sales. This will be calculated using calculate function where we can put the sales measure, and in the filter, I can put cross filter function. So cross filter function requires first your left table in the column, right table in the column, and then the cross filter type. So here my left table would be territory table, territory key column. The right table would be sales table, territory key column. And then I can keep my cross filter direction to none in this. So by selecting none, it will temporarily disable the relationship. Okay. So all region sales at the moment shows you the same value as we have here. But now this will not be filtered based on the country field, which is coming from the territory table. So you can see while all sales, this is changing, but the all region sales will not change. But if we want to see all region sales by other dimensions like product or customer, this filtering would still work. So I would still be able to see by other dimension tables. Okay. So this is one use case of the cross filter, that you can disable the filtering. Another use case could be by changing the filtering direction. So for that, let's take an example. If we want to know how many how many customers have purchased what all distinct subcategories. Okay, so we have the customers table. Here we have the customers, and we have a products table where we have product name, product subcategory, product category, and their detail. If I want to know how many customers have penetrated in how many, like which all customers have penetrated in how many subcategories, this can be done through cross filter detection function as well. So let's calculate that. If I simply put in a table customer from the customer table, and simply from the product table, the subcategory. Okay. And I want to take a distinct count of subcategory. So I can change it to distinct count here. So you'll see that the value would be repeated here. Okay. So for all customers, subcategory count is 37. This is because there is no filter going from customer table to the product table. If you look at the data model, here customer table can filter the sales table, products table can filter the sales table, but but there is no filter which is going directly from the customer table to the product table. This is not happening. This can happen if I change the direction of this filter from one to from single side to both side. Okay, so let's do that with the cross filter function. We'll create a measure. Distinct subcategory sales. And for that, once again, we'll use calculate function. And here we'll take distinct count of subcategories, distinct count of product subcategory. And we'll use cross filter. Now we need to add a filter between the sales and the product table. So it will be product table product key, sales table product key, and the filter direction is both. Okay. Now I can add this distinct subcategory sales into this table. And you can see, we now can see exactly how many distinct subcategories each customer has purchased. We can sort the results for the customers who have purchased in the maximum number of distinct categories. So this is how we can apply cross filter function in our calculations. So takeaway for the cross filter function is that it temporarily overrides the filter behavior of a relationship. It only does it temporarily. It does not permanently changes the data model. And you need to have an existing relationship between two tables. Secondly, changing the cross filter direction from single to both is performance expensive. So use it only when it is necessary, as it degrades the performance of the report significantly. Thank you for learning with me. See you in the next video.